And our next speaker is Sadhna Mehta. So she's a wonderful person in the sense that just like we as medical doctors are integrating multiple things, she has been able to integrate a lot of healing modalities. She is a past life regression expert. She is a back flower practitioner. She's a BodyTalk practitioner. She's a nutritionist practicing metabolic balance. She is a very intuitive person, and I can go on endlessly speaking about many other things she's done. But the whole idea of her speaking is that getting to know how does a healer which already has a well-developed intuition, who already practices so many other systems, how does BodyTalk contribute to her practice? Over to you, Sadhna ji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mankul. Thank you so much. Namaskar, everyone. Such a joy to be here. Healing work for me, like Mankul said, and if you look at this, I have done for past couple of years, I've done some amount of work to add these tools to my toolbox, but healing for me has not been a eureka moment, but something that has evolved over a period of time. I spent a substantial part of my working life in the corporate world, but there was always a niggle in my mind making me wonder whether this is what I'm truly meant to be. And that feeling kept growing stronger. Some of you may have heard of the concept, a Japanese concept called ikigai, which means a reason for being, referring to something that gives a sense of purpose, reason for living. I realized I was missing my reason for being or my purpose in life. So I started seeking my ikigai. And the whole concept resonated with me because I was also looking for something that I love, I'm good at, the world needs, and that can also be paid for. कहते हैं ना, जब आप किसी चीज को बहुत शिद्दत से चाहते हैं तो पूरी कायनात आपको उससे मिलाने में लग जाती है. The universe that manifested this very intention and a series of coincidences started guiding me towards this path. One of my mentors, Mr. Tony Anurup Singh, asked me to volunteer for a community called TQI. There I was introduced to some of the most evolved practitioners in integrative healing space. In fact, I met Dr. Mankul, Dr. Pankaj, Sureshji, all these people there. And I started to realize that the body is self-generated and we are naturally programmed to heal ourselves. The more I conversed and spent time with these practitioners, the stronger my conviction grew. I also experimented with a few therapies for myself and was delighted that my health issues became better. And I felt I found my purpose in life, my ikigai in healing and well-being. So this is how Inner Quest for Sadhna was born. I set up a small therapy practice. And my journey began with studying nutrition, which is core to our overall well-being. And as Mankul Mehra, I'm a bit of an empath and can sense the emotional disharmony. And begin to acknowledge that we are 99% energy and just 1% physical. But we remain so vested in our physicality that we ignore taking care of our life force. Hence came the integration with emotional wellness and energy medicine. And I'm very fortunate to have been trained by some of the world's best teachers. Dr. Brian Weiss, Dr. Yogesh Chaudhary, Anadia Judith, Donna, and Pat's into UK, to become an integrative wellness practitioner and have spent a couple of past years learning various modalities. I must put a disclaimer here that all these modalities, nutrition, clinical hypnotherapy, Bach flower, energy work, they are all very powerful as solo therapies. And people do experience excellent outcomes. But in my experience, I realized every individual is unique. So is his or her healing journey. So it's no one size fits all. For example, hypnosis works well, wonders for 10% people who are suggestible. but may not work for 25% people who can't be hypnotized. So while I was adding more tools to my practice, I was looking for something which was more integrative, which could bind my work, And that's where I was introduced to Body Talk by Dr. Mankul. And fortunately, my dear Humira was in India, and I attended and I got certified in Body Talk a couple of years back. We have been talking about Body Talk here. Body Talk in itself is a complete consciousness-based system, which helps us identify broken links in various physical, mental, and environmental systems and help us let our consciousness flow. This is one system which helps us navigate through anatomy, physiology, as well as one feels so and as Mankul described, and you can see it on the left chart, that we can scan through so many, the protocol gives us access to so many areas in a person's life. It's actually soul, mind, body, everything comes here. But what is very interesting for me, and I feel empowered, that what is on the right, that it also gives you, while you're integrating all these modalities, practicing Body Talk, it also gives you a choice to integrate other modalities which you are practicing. Once, like I practice chakra balancing, hypnosis, batch flower remedies, and they come up very often for me. And I feel guided to what they may work best for them. And this has actually made me use Body Talk a lot. Something very profound about Body Talk is that it's unlike some other energy healing practices where we feel we are the doer. Here is no doership. You become the seer, or just by being aware of the priorities of the mind, body, soul. As per the quantum mechanics, healing begins. Healing begins as we take our awareness to that priority, or we are reflecting on that priority. As during my work, integrating my work of Body Talk with other practices, there are some of the USPs that I would like to share, my learnings that I would like to share, which other people, my healer friends who are trying to explore this possibility. In today's world, our dependency to use technology, medicine for healthcare has increased extensively. We are trying to heal congested energies of matter with matter. But for thousands of years, we relied on our innate abilities to heal, grow, and find inner peace without any of this. Modern medicine is so correction-oriented that we forget about the connection. But Body Talk is a consciousness-based therapy, and the practitioner gets access to the innate wisdom of the client. So there is a consciousness connection before the correction. And once there is a connection, correction is very natural. So that journey to that equanimous Satchitanand state begins. Another thing is that it gives framework to intuition, as Mankul just described. As complementary healers, we rely a lot on our intuition or sixth sense. Intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Sometimes we do not listen to our intuition, to our inner consciousness, and negate it by thinking, what if it's not true? What if I'm thinking? But Body Talk gives you that framework to make your intuition more structured. Your left brain learnings help you, right brain to explore deep. You start trusting your intuition more. To give you an example, one of my clients came for some emotional issues. While doing a Body Talk session, thyroid came up as a priority. And referring to other medical system also came in other systems. And once she was referred to a medical doctor and she underwent a test and was diagnosed with thyroid dysfunction. In fact, Mankul said we are not promising anything medical. For me, it has been working as a medical intuitive system also, because there is so much knowledge about the anatomy. There is so much knowledge about the physiology that while you're working with the clients, that energy people, workers who have only been working on emotions find it very enriching. As therapists and healers, we spend a couple of sessions going through the root cause of the issue. And I find BodyTalk very effective in getting to the core. In fact, I use BodyTalk as my first session in therapy work to get to the core. It gives me a path. It gives me the knowledge. How am I going to plan my sessions with the client? What is the priority of the client? So I work accordingly. When I was doing BodyTalk course, we were asked to go back home and practice. And I asked my cook's son, who had a speech disorder. I did a session on him. And when I was doing the session, I was guided to go to SB Junction and found a link of a hitting episode at 2 years of age. And the mother confirmed that she had put a hot plate on his head as a child was a preterm baby and had a slightly odd-looking crown. And she was told to press it with a hot plate in her village. I was shocked by the incident. But pleasantly, post-BodyTalk session, we continued with daily access practice. And now he talks non-stop. He's the chatterbox of the house. Another very beautiful contribution BodyTalk has done to my therapy work is working around the belief systems. We are what we think. Belief systems are the operating softwares of those 95% programs stored in our subconscious mind. Some belief systems are essential for our survival, like fear. We have fear of heights, we have fear of fire. Otherwise, we'll put our hand in fire, we will stand on the side of the roof and start looking down without a railing. But those are the fears which are required for survival. But most of the fears come with a shelf life. And we forget that, and we keep living with those fears. BodyTalk not only helps you bring those belief systems in your awareness, but also helps you to reprogram. It uses EMDR as one of the tapping mechanism. When we are doing tapping, we use EMDR, which helps you reprogram the belief systems beautifully. I was seeing a young corporate employee who came with instability issues. He would quit his jobs very frequently. And he kept blaming his parents for his behavior, for whatever his situation was. During the session, he came up that he was very short-heighted and felt that he wasn't good enough. And his friends and his schoolmates, they all bullied him. He tapped it out and there was a shift in his energies. But Bajfla remedies also came up as other system to address emotions. And I integrated both, and the results were, he has been happy about them. I can go on with my lovely stories, but we are constrained for time. So I'll take a pause here. But being a Vedantic student, seeking to move from duality to singularity within, would like to finish my talk with a thought. Thank you. Neha, can you put it? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sadhna ji, for the wonderful